All right, welcome. In this section, we're going to cover what are some pro tips for success that going forward we can use to not only help us in succeeding in what we're trying to do, but also helping us differentiate from the average GPT chat user, right? So let's go ahead and dive in. Um, One of the most, after using GPT for a few weeks now, it's been out a few weeks. I've been using it every day. I've noticed a few things, and I know as time goes on, this will only get worse if I don't correct it now. Number one, creativity is going to be more important than ever. Humans will start to think like AI, and AI will start to think like humans. I've noticed when I've been using ChatGPT, I would sort of just shortcut the prompts and expect ChatGPT to understand what I'm saying because I guess I got so spoiled. But I know that going forward, it will only get worse, and I have to keep my mind sharp and my creativity sharp enough so that I can continue to not only be a user of ChatGPT, but be an excellent user at ChatGPT. So anyone can just ask it a simple question and it spit out an answer. But what we're gonna have to do is learn how to write specific questions to get specific answers that will help us with specific situations. Now I know that sounds like a lot, but again, creativity is more important than ever. And another thing I want to note is now I read something the other day that information we move from the information age to the information of to the age of knowledge. So what I want to do, uh, while this generates a prompt, we move from the information age to information to the age of knowledge. And with information, before it was about what you knew. So that's what schooling was based around. That's what college was based around. That's what all the learning was based around, is remembering information and being able to recite it on hand. Um, now now that all the university information is at the tip of our fingertips, that is not going to cut it anymore. We're going to have to learn because we can just in 10 seconds, instead of having to remember and store that in our brains, we can just search it up. But now we're going to have to learn how to use that specific information. One, not only how to gather that specific information, two, how to use that specific information, and three, how to implement it into what we're currently doing. So again, information is a dime a dozen now. So you're going to have to learn how to use specific information and generate specific prompts to for your specific situation. And which leads me into my next point. What we're going to have to do, and I say we, as ChatGPT gets more and more advanced, we're going to have to continue to test, test, and test. Because I even with these short few weeks, I've noticed that the answers it gave out in the beginning are now changing, and um, they're continuing. It's changing by the day. New information is coming out. Um, there's an example of Moore's law. Let me see if I can Google that. Moore's law, which states that um, okay, I know this seems like a lot, but what Moore's law is pretty much, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, is as time goes on, the cost for computers and the acceleration and the rate of computers getting smarter only increases. So ChatGPT is very advanced for now, right? And as month, 2 months, 6 months, a year goes by, it's going to be almost unrecognizable with the capabilities it has, and it can almost answer every question I ever had about anything, right? So that will only advance, and what we're going to have to do is just continue to test, test, and test, and generate prompts so that we can use it in a way that benefits us, essentially, right? So what I want you all to do is just continue to test and generate not only things that you would think you would need, but also just test and generate things that you think you may not need. And what I mean by that is ask it very specific questions. Test out your prompts. Test out how you will write out specific things in terms of your vocabulary, how you where you put your commas, how you ask the questions. Don't just ask what is a this. Ask a what is a this in terms of this. I know I'm being very vague, but I'm just hoping you all understand. Now to become an advanced user, we're going to have to be very specific so that we can get specific answers and use those answers to further our knowledge. So again, we're moving it from the age of information into the age of knowledge and learning how to use specific situations with specific times. So, and the last pro tip I have for you all is ChatGPT in combination with other tools, and we're going to cover that in the next video.